fighting is not the easiest option to take
No,
because
it's probably the hardest.
fighting is an option that you take. Fighters are broke. Until you've made it, you're broke.
Do they have jobs, right?
Yeah, Hayder works full time. He works from
Yeah.
4 a.m. to 5 p.m,
Oh,
and then
wow.
he comes to training, and then he'll do 4 hours at the gym.
That's
You know
dedication.
what I mean? That's a
man.
different level of dedication.
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
The Lebbie podcast is the best podcast in the area, and you can't change my mind.
All right, guys, we're live. We're actually live. We haven't done a podcast in so long. Look, I apologize. Obviously, we've been on a big break at the moment because
Pretty long
break.
break.
We've been busy. We've been to Melbourne. We've done a lot of shit in the past 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
And
been hectic.
I thought, what better way to get back into the podcast than bring a good friend of the podcast. He's already been on the podcast, but we had to bring him for round 2 because
One
obviously
of our earliest guests.
Yeah. Actually, we were just starting out when you came down, and it was a big pleasure to have you on back then as well. Because I remember he told me about you, and like we're like, oh, Suman, because we've seen your UFC fights and that.
Yeah.
And then he reached out to you, and then it just shows how humble you were even back then, and to come on our podcast that even back then, when we were just starting out.
Yeah, you gave us
And
that chance
supporting
like,
the
really
boys,
early
you know?
on.
Bro, I know what it was like as well. Like when I was first starting out, some guys wouldn't give me a chance. It's the same as fighting, you want an opportunity, you want something, but at the end of the day, you guys are doing a podcast right now, and you guys need guests. And if I can come in and just make some little bit of an impact, then I'm happy to
love
be
it.
here.
Nah, 100%, bro. And it's a pleasure to have you back on, obviously. And we got UFN 30 coming up this weekend. This podcast will be released before that. And bro, I'm so G'd for that.
Well, how'd you like the last show?
Bro, I was just going to tell you the last show, because it was the first UFC event that I've actually been to.
Yeah.
Not UFC, obviously, UFN,
UFN,
but
yeah.
you know what I mean, mixed martial arts. And bro, the kicks, everything was just
You know what's
you
the
can hear it.
craziest? When they take down and you just hear that fucking rumble.
Hear that thud when they hit
Yeah,
the
But
floor.
the scariest thing was that guillotine.
Oh, yeah.
They lifted him up off the
What's his
floor.
name?
The
darker guy.
Percival.
Percival, yeah.
Percival, yeah.
that
One
was
with
crazy.
that ninja choke.
Yeah,
That guillotine.
bro.
And it came out of nowhere too. It was a competitive back and forth fight.
Yeah.
Percival versus Aiden. Competitive back and forth fight, and no one expected it to finish like that. And
Right.
it just shows you how real it is. I know a lot of guys that come to fight shows, they haven't seen they think it's a competition, or
Yeah.
they think, maybe they got some karate outfits on or something. It's full action, just like you would see in the UFC. You know, little gloves, no shirts on, guys bashing each other's faces in. So it was good that you guys could come and see the reality of MMA. And remember, you spoke about it before as well, that step that you took into the cage and the feeling that it gives you. So
It was crazy.
my goal right now with my shows and my fighting is to be able to show that to everyone else. Get everyone to have a glimpse of what we go through, have a glimpse of what the fighters go through every time, and the impact of all this training and what can happen, the realities of it, and winning and losing, not just seeing the winners. Once you come to the fight shows, you kind of understand MMA a little bit more, especially when you come to Urban Fight Night. You see some good fight.
100%, bro. And seeing you behind the scenes as well. I knew you were running the stuff over there, right? But then seeing you there, commentating, running around. I remember there was a little bit of an incident as well. And then there was
a few incidents.
some of the crowd members were getting crazy, and you coming up, telling security guards, whatever, the cops, just you were
I was with Boss Mate that
crazy.
night.
Yeah. And it just seeing you, what goes behind the show as well. And we met up with you before that. I remember we had sushi with you, and we're talking about events and stuff. And then you mentioned, because we wanted to start an event. We were let's do a TikTok boxing event. This, that. Me and him were G'd up.
Yeah,
Bro.
We sat with you. You're like, brother, look, listen. There's this, that. I'm like, all right, fuck. It's a big deal.
Yeah. A lot of people, even right now, because people see me on TikTok now.
Yeah.
And when they see me on TikTok, I don't think they expect for myself to be the person who's running such a big show or big
for
event.
sure.
And even I sometimes trip out that I'm in charge.
Yeah,
But
it's a lot.
But it is a lot, and so much goes into these shows, and one thing can go wrong on fight night and it could ruin everything. So I'm always on high alert. I'm always stressed on fight night, but so much planning goes into these events, and now we've got the next one. This next show that we've got coming up, we've had so many hurdles we've had to jump over, so many things that we've had to get through, but after 30 shows, I've kind of got a rhythm of everything now, and how to run everything. So hopefully this next event is going to be our biggest one yet.
Sorry to interrupt the podcast, guys, but we are sponsored by Manscaped. Yes, the Lebbie podcast is sponsored by Manscaped, and this episode is proudly brought to you by Manscaped.
Yes.
So yeah, where do I start? Manscaped has introduced the 4.0 performance package. I'm telling you, this comes with everything. Anything you need in terms of hygiene, men's hygiene, you know, your balls, everything's here. You know, you got a body spray, hydrating body spray, which I'm guessing is like a deodorant, and yeah, it smells really good.
Bro, this deodorant is smelling pretty
That's
good.
a deodorant as well. But if you don't like to spray it, you can roll it because there's a roll on as
Hang
well.
on, where's this been? Where's this been, mate?
Mate, that's been in places you don't want to know.
Oh,
But
mate.
anyway, you also got the body wash, guys. So if guys, BO is the worst thing.
Yeah,
Honestly,
100%.
if
Why'd
I
you
have
say
an-
it as BO? Why
BO,
you say-
body odor.
Body odor. Yeah,
If
just
I
say
see
it.
someone that has body odor, it is a complete turn off. It's the
Yeah.
first thing I smell. My sense of smell is the first thing that comes.
Yeah.
All right. And
You don't want someone telling you stink. That's like the worst.
That's the worst thing. So why not get the Performance 4.0 package? You can get it for your brother, your sister, your dad, your cousins, uncles, dogs, nephews, brothers, uncles, nephews. I don't know. I can keep going.
Just keep going.
But anyway, guys, it comes with a weed whacker as well. It also comes with a pair of boxes, so you know you keep your balls intact. Because this one, it also has like a balls holder.
I'm a fan of the boxes, mate. I'll tell
It's
you
pretty
that.
good. So yeah, guys, seal the deal with Manscaped's liquid formulations. Manscaped, their crop preserver, ball deodorant, everything. It comes with everything, guys. And just for you guys, just for the Lebbie listeners, we've got 20% off plus free shipping. That's 20% off plus
Good deal
plus
if you
free
ask
shipping.
me. If you haven't used this deal, what are you waiting for? Like,
don't know.
honestly, what are you
Yeah,
waiting for?
what are you waiting for? It's 20% off and
it.
you got free shipping if you just put the code Lebbie at manscaped.com. So go to manscaped.com, put the code Lebbie, you get
right here.
20%
It's right
off
here, baby. It's
plus
right here.
free shipping, and that's all you need. That's all you need in life. Back to the podcast. Bro, I'm keen, and especially like after last time, and you invited us obviously, and you invited a few other TikTokers, and one of the TikTokers you invited was Yisra.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember,
Holy shit.
but she fucking went off.
Bro.
He walked to our table and then he was like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yeah,
have
that
a
was
fight outside.
exactly my reaction.
Yeah.
Because I walked over and I don't want to be rude. I want to come around to the tables and stuff. And
Bro, we
like,
didn't
say hi
expect you to
the
come
guests,
over,
you
but
know?
like you still made
Yeah.
the time. Yeah,
So I came over and I seen Hattie smiling
yeah.
as I was walking over, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't really get a chance to speak to Yishra before that."
Yeah.
Like I just met her as she was coming in the door. I was like, "Oh, I might get to sit on the table and talk to them."
Yeah.
I start walking over and I just see Yishra pick up the phone, slam it into Hattie's chest, and I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
fuck." Do I come over right now or not? And I'm like, fuck it. I'm walking over. She starts going off. She storms right past me. She looked at me like she was gonna fucking hit me, and I swear,
Bro,
mate,
I
I'm
was-
not scared. I'm not gonna lie. I can fight. I can
yeah.
fight, but I didn't want to.
Double leg
I didn't want to get into
Could you
that.
imagine you knocked her out at the UFN or like
In front of
took her down
everyone,
or something?
she comes
Tail
in.
sunning, like,
I,
can't
I was
literally
just-
close.
I thought she was gonna start with me because I just didn't know what to expect in that
Yeah.
instant. And I just like looked over at you boys, and I'm like, "Is everything alright?" And they're
Bro, I was like,
I have no idea
Don't
what the
ask.
fuck happened.
Because apparently there was someone outside. That's because we actually brought her on the podcast as well. We talked to her
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
And we asked her, and she was like, there was someone actually there at the event outside.
There was another TikToker outside.
Another TikToker that she had beef with, and then she went out to
I know who it was, but I'm not gonna say
Yeah,
it on
yeah.
the podcast. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know what the beef was over. But some of these girls on TikTok need to fucking kick back.
100%.
Everyone needs
100%.
to kick back.
Especially-
There's a few on there that are
Yeah.
alright. Yeah, I can take their shit. Like, but even Yusra's alright. But
Yeah.
like, some of them, it's not just girls, it's just guys and girls.
Guys
That
as well.
TikTok, it brings out some of the worst
Bro.
attributes in some people, and unfortunately, what you see on live, like it comes off in real life as well. You know, when you're on your screen that much and you're talking and you're yelling at people that much, it becomes a part of you eventually.
100%,
And, you know,
sure.
That toxicity from TikTok translates into real life as well, and it's dirty.
Bro, I'm telling you, TikTok, and I'll say it, is the best thing to happen to the area. Why it's the best
Yeah.
thing is because it brought out a lot of content creators, people that can actually make content. But why it's the worst thing is because a lot of people took advantage of TikTok and they don't have any content. They used it for drama, they used it for beef, and now it's like it's just the fucking jungle. at the
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah, that was my worry. Like I never wanted to be on TikTok because I thought TikTok was just dancing in front of the camera.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I'm like,
Initially, that's what it
and
was.
like, I'm not confident enough to do that. I talk
Yeah.
shit
Hello,
about
you
it.
probably can dance, bro.
Nah, I can,
if
oh,
you can
maybe a
throw
little
punches,
bit.
you
Full work, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm not. You know what it is? I can dance, but I wouldn't dance on camera.
Nah,
You know what I mean?
that's different.
It's like I sing in the shower, but I won't. Sing
Nah,
on
you would sing on
yeah.
camera. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, like TikTok now, you don't even know what's real or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I first jumped onto the app, I was like, oh, it's a bunch of dancers. I jumped on and I seen like some of the battles. I seen there's a lot of funny content obviously on there. You go through the FYP page.
yeah.
You can scroll through that thing for hours and just find video after video after video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now my FYP page is just about people punching on.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
It's
cool.
just about people beefing. And
Screen
like we
recordings,
spoke
yeah.
about before, it's kind of died down a bit now, but more of the fake bullshit is coming out now.
Yeah.
Which is what's sad.
I feel like the drama itself has died down now because, like, obviously, I'm not seeing those screen recordings as often. But the people that we always talk about that are in the rankings are still there. They're still in the top
Yeah.
rankings. The same ones that people always say are the toxic ones, the negative ones. They're always in the top 10. You know what I mean?
I hear there's always, you know what the main issue with TikTok is? Everyone fighting over the rankings. Everyone fighting over, oh, how can you go for number one every week? Personally, I feel like if you've got the team that can do it, you know, and you can push through the rankings and always be there, why not? If people want to choose to gift you and get you up there, that's fine. But like, there's a lot of people starting beef based on that. Based
Yeah.
on you shouldn't be in the rankings, or why are you going for number one again week after week after week after week?
Yeah. It's like the smallest stuff, they use it to their advantage to trigger
Yeah.
that.
Well, yeah,
that
I've
drama.
seen some of the nicest people come onto this app,
Yeah.
and then they go through the rankings, and as soon as they get into the top 20,
You
people
can't
start
talk to them
talking-
anymore.
Yeah, well, not and some people you can't talk to,
Some of
and
them,
then
yeah.
there's the other ones as well that like they just rip into everyone who's new into the top 20.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Those main people that we're speaking about that are always there.
Yeah.
They're the ones that have an issue with people coming in. It's not so much the people from the outside saying, "Why can you guys go for number
It's
one?"
selfish, though.
Yeah, it is
Very
selfish. It's like you don't want anyone else to come near your ranking. No, that's not true. Anyone who says anything about rankings is talking shit. They're saying, "I don't want you to get any closer because my viewers might see you and they might like your content more than mine. They might gift you over me." That is
So toxic.
that's the saddest thing about it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. And like,
Who cares?
I was happy. You know what? Seeing you jump on TikTok initially when you did and jumping on lives and stuff, I was actually happy because finally it's like a breath of fresh air. It's like someone new, someone that actually, you know, you're doing something. You know, you got a gym, obviously, you bring a lot of boys in, you help a lot of people. And like seeing someone like you and seeing people like business owners, things like that, you know, even ex-criminals, right?
Yeah.
Like there's ex-criminals, but you can't judge all ex-criminals because some of them, they use their past as a way to like talk people
Yeah,
out
they're
of
making a change at least.
you know, making a change.
I remember when Woody jumped on.
Yeah.
Bro, he copped so much hate. So many people talking shit about Moody as well. And he's one of those people that, like, I've spoken to Moody, like, a lot. And I don't know how some people can get over the bullshit that people write.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
so much. It's
hard,
so
bro.
much. And, like, I always say, if you can sit there on TikTok and go through all the bullshit, you deserve to get gifted. You deserve to,
100%. Exactly,
to get
bro.
up there. But, you know, at the end of the day, like, people like himself that are jumping on, they're giving a story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, people can relate to them. Some people can relate to them. I think that every person on TikTok has people that are relatable to them. You know, I think that anyone can make money on TikTok, and I think anyone can be popular on TikTok because there's common-minded people like that, like us around there in the world. There's a lot of people that are out there that are like Moody or want to hear from him, or maybe inspired by something like by him not being a criminal anymore, not going down that path anymore.
Yeah.
And even if he's on TikTok, at least he's not doing the same shit. You know what I
There
mean?
you go.
Like,
Exactly right.
people need to kind of take the good from the good, and
Yeah.
you know, leave the
You know,
bad with the
I
bad.
think I heard that he's on TikTok because he's just bored. Because like obviously not because he has nothing to do, but like obviously coming from such a criminal life that you know your life was
what
always
else are you
exciting.
gonna do?
You know, what else are you gonna do?
else are you
Like
gonna do?
exactly like a lot of people give him shit for it. But I think him being on TikTok, as you said, is better than him being out on the street doing what he used to do.
At the end of the day, it's not gonna be easy for him to get a job.
It won't,
The
obviously
only-
with the
only
tattoos,
thing-
with the
yeah,
past, with everything.
It's not
you know,
gonna
hard.
happen. He's not gonna get a job, so
Yeah.
he has to be a boss. Now, it's not always as easy as starting your own company and fucking everything kicking
No.
off. I was very lucky
Yeah.
with my companies and everything that kicked off. He's got to do something. Same with all these young guys that are 16 or 17 years old. They've got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, maybe Moody gets all the money that he's getting from TikTok and puts it into a proper business and, you know, changes other people's lives. Hopefully,
Maybe, yeah.
you know, but like, I'm just hoping a lot of these TikTokers that are falling off put their money into good use and put it
Yeah.
somewhere good.
Yeah. What do you
There's
think-
a lot of money being made.
Bro, that's what I was going to say. What do you think a lot of these people are doing with their money? Because I'm not seeing flashy. I'm not seeing fucking AMGs. I'm not seeing... They're obviously doing something
Smart.
with the money.
They're smart.
They're saving it.
Well, look, if you show everyone how much money you've made, why would people keep gifting you? They'll turn on you.
True.
You
Yeah,
keep,
100%, yeah.
You keep
Yeah,
crying poor. You keep crying poor,
Yeah.
and
You're not gonna wear like designer and fucking top clothes and like top
Yeah.
cars and stuff.
yeah, you know what? The ones that do are either making so much money that it doesn't really
It doesn't matter, yeah.
Yeah, or they don't care about the money. You know, it's one or the other. But it's I think it's very wrong if people like have their main source of income being TikTok and then they're going into Louis Vuitton stores and they're buying brand new
Yeah.
bags, they're buying glasses.
Because then you're just like, people are giving you money and you're just wasting it.
I
Literally.
feel guilty.
Yeah.
I feel guilty. I like being on live. I like doing the battles. I think it's fun. I
Yeah.
like even getting the gifts, whatever.
Yeah, it's
But-
exciting.
But like I said, I gift 100% of everything I get
Yeah.
back. My source of income is not TikTok. You know, like I've got not just my gym, not just my shows and my management as well. I've got other companies as well.
Yeah.
And I've got other sources of income.
You haven't
So-
put all your eggs in one basket.
That's right.
is
TikTok
the
TikTok
best way
is
to do
not it's not a basket to me.
No, it's
It is a basket
it's
for
just
some
fun.
people, and it's good. If someone can make money off it, if someone can live a better life off it, straight out, go do it. Like there's that who's that kid that put his head in the toilet?
Saheem.
Saheem.
Yeah. Saheem's
You know,
alright. You know, I
Saheem's
like
every
Saheem.
day.
I
You
like
know,
Saheem.
like at the end of the day, I don't know his whole story. I heard he was like homeless or something.
I heard that he's homeless, but he chooses to be homeless because he wants to have this fantasy of like becoming a singer or something like that. Which, you know, fair play to him, man. If he's following his dreams.
Needs to get off the ice.
You reckon he's on ice? I met him in the city. I actually seen him in the city.
He
seems
bro,
alright.
I don't know.
I don't know.
So,
Here's
never
the
know.
tripper. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. He's probably not on ice.
Didn't
But
he
like,
like move in with Mon's
oh
friends or
yeah,
something?
what the fuck?
yeah, I
was
saw that. He
That
was
was
on
trippy.
Mons' bed. Oi,
What
honestly.
the fuck was that?
Listen. I saw
I've
that
never seen
video.
Mons trust
Saheem,
someone
please,
like that.
please, for the love of God, go get an STD check.
What?
Alright?
Because he was on Mons' bed.
Bro, can you imagine the filthy pigs that he sleeps with?
Oh,
bro.
fucking hell.
Tatted up women. Like, I've
No,
seen
I
that.
want tatted up women, bro. Like $70 fucking brothel girls with no teeth. I'm telling
fucking
you.
hell.
those women, I can only imagine, bro.
Yeah, but Saheem's been on the street, so I think Mons' bed will be better than the street, wouldn't it? Oh, you? Oh, okay, I don't know.
You might catch more STDs on Mons' bed than a park bench in fucking
Probably.
Melbourne.
Fucking hell.
Hey, but look, I feel like Saheem has a bit of like issues. Like I don't know.
Nah,
him
he does.
personally,
He
but
does. You can't
seems like-
look. You can't be like completely normal and be okay with shoving your head in the toilet.
True.
Yeah.
You know what
Mons
I mean?
did it though. No,
Yeah, but he's not normal.
that's true.
You know what I mean?
It's got to
Like,
be a play.
Free
Like,
screws loose.
and, at the end of the day, like, you know why Mons can do that? Because he thinks to himself, "I'll buy my pride back with all the money I've made on
Yeah,
TikTok."
It doesn't really
You know
matter.
what I mean? He'll laugh it off, and good on him as well for being like that. Like if he, like I said, if someone's got a hustle and people wanna buy into it,
That's true.
that's 100%
Yeah.
cool. You know
But
what I
it just look, you said it perfectly. You said that TikTok, you know, it's good that people are making money and stuff, but it just shits me that in Sydney and Australia, the ways people are making money is not all of them, but a lot of them don't make content.
mean? Nah.
And the ones that are making content are really making the money that these people are making.
True.
Are you talking about the ones that like sit in their room and just stare? at
Yeah,
the
just
wall?
sit in their room, stare at the camera. They got two
Yeah.
doors. You know, it's
Let's,
like
let's push, guys. Let's push.
Yeah,
Let's
that,
push.
you know what? That's honestly the main reason when I go home, I don't jump on my live more often.
yeah,
Like I do sometimes just because I'm bored and I've got nothing to do.
yeah,
But I don't go on live when I'm at home because like that's my home life, that's my personal life. You know, like I don't want to show off too much about that. I don't show what car I drive. I don't show what
Yeah.
house I live in. I don't show anything like that, and I'd rather not.
yeah.
I like my content to be like about the gym, at the gym.
I've seen it. You actually show sparring. You show like the boys sparring.
Yeah, you know,
it's
and
funny.
that's-
Something
this last week or two, I haven't shown as much because the guys have fights coming
The guys
up.
have fights,
and
yeah,
I
makes sense.
know that there is people from other teams that watch my lives.
Yeah,
So don't think I don't fucking realize.
Oh wait, they actually.
No
Wait, that's smart.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they watch the lives and they're
Wow.
like, yeah,
They'll have footage
and
of
they're
it.
sitting there and they screen record, and that's
Fuck.
cool.
Wow.
If I'm dumb enough to,
Yeah, but
Show it
you
off?
don't show them anyway. Last 2 weeks anyway.
I know what to show them and what not to show them.
It's 2 steps ahead.
Few
That's
tricks
just
up
it.
the sleeve.
Hey, I'm looking. Speaking of the fighters, I'm looking forward to King Kong, bro.
Bro,
Yes.
Fucking hell, we had him on the
You know
podcast,
what?
and I'm looking forward to him.
I'm nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I'm
Yeah.
nervous. Why? Because at the end of the day, he's a young guy. He's undefeated, and he's like on his way up, and
Yeah,
it's starting to get a lot of attention as well.
For sure, yeah.
People want to see how
post
you
fight
guys do.
interviews,
Yeah,
bro. They
like,
were good.
the post-fight interviews.
I love
no
it.
one even watches this.
So
He
good.
can fight. No one watches his fight.
Yeah.
Bro,
He
his
just
fights are
watches
crazy.
the
He's got
post-fight
hands,
interview.
bro. He's a
Yeah.
baller.
But like, you know, everyone's talking about it right now and talking about him fighting. They make it like he should be in the main event.
Isn't he the main event?
No, he's not the main
Oh,
event.
I thought he was the main event. But
Nah, he's not.
fair
But like, you know, he's working his way up there, and
Yeah.
I want him to stay focused on like the task at hand.
task
The
at
guy that he's fighting next,
Grappler or
he's a good grappler. He's well rounded, but he's fought Muay Thai in Thailand, and he's fought a lot of grappling as well. He has more grappling credentials than Armin. And Armin's only had like the 3 MMA fights, and his opponents had Muay Thai fights, a lot of grappling, like
Yeah.
background and stuff like that. He can wrestle. He's a well-rounded fighter.
Yeah.
And the issue with him being such a well-rounded fighter is we don't actually know a whole lot about him because from the wins that he's had, there's no footage.
oh wait, how many fights has the other guy had?
He's had 2 fights. And Armin's had 3.
Okay,
You know,
fair
so
enough,
like
yeah.
so there's not like a whole lot. So like right now, Armin's kind of going in there blind. You know what I mean? Like we know the guy can grapple.
Yep.
We know the guy can wrestle. We know the guy can strike.
Yeah,
But what's
you
he
haven't
gonna
seen
do?
much footage.
We don't even know what stance he stands.
Fuck.
far out.
You know, and
Yeah,
like
but the other guy would know about
exactly
Armin
right.
because he's seen.
That's
he can
right.
see footage.
And that is kind of something that like
yeah,
because we expose our fighters so much, because like with
it's
UFC,
good publicity.
it's great publicity. Like you don't see other shows in New South Wales that
No.
have
I don't know
like
any
the
other
amount
shows.
of the amount of
Seriously.
there are other shows, but
But other UFC
we
is like-
we make sure we go above and beyond with our production. You know, we want our lights, our cameras, everything. We want the
To me,
experience
the
to be
biggest
something.
what looks like it is UFN in Australia.
Yeah,
it's got to
well,
be. Yeah,
There's
what-
other shows, but like no one promotes their fighters the way we do. You know what I mean? You go to an amateur boxing show. Have you ever been to amateur boxing shows?
I've been to one. Yeah,
They
remember?
barely
Yeah.
have walkout music. They just
No,
walk
it's
straight into the ring. They're like, all right, guys.
It's like you're in
go."
the gym.
Yeah, there's no like pump up. Even after you win, they chuck a little medal on your head and they can
That's
get the
it.
fuck out of the cage.
Yeah.
You know,
This
with,
one's like
with
literally
our
like
show,
proper.
we want people to feel like they're in the UFC.
Yeah.
we want them to
I like
feel.
that. The flames on the entrance.
Yeah,
Nah,
you know,
it's
bro.
proper.
We go above and beyond with our production. We spend
you
more
got the
money on
you got
that.
the ring girls as well.
You got the
Which
ring
I'll talk
girls.
to you
know,
after.
so,
I'll talk to
hey,
you after.
anyone want to come check out the ring girls? You know, hey, if you don't come for the fights, come for the ring girls.
Come for the ring
There's
girls.
so
Hey,
much to come for.
I'm telling you, last event, bro. Come to the fights. Come to the fights.
Well, Blondie, which
Wait, which one? Which?
No, I don't want to say.
Come on.
I'll tell you after. I'll tell you after.
Hey, listen, you know what I'll do when you guys come to the next event? I'll
Yeah.
have you guys sitting right with the ring girls.
Fucking do it.
Hey,
We'll
that's
have
it.
the
We're
Lebbie
set.
boys with
We're
the ring
set.
girls. You don't have
set.
misses, do you?
Nah.
Oh, good. All right, we're all right.
He's got us. Let's see.
Okay. But yeah, I want an atmosphere. I want
Yeah.
to feel. Were you guys there for Haters fight?
I was. Yeah.
See?
Yisro was going off at that fight.
Yeah,
as well.
there's a video of it. Like,
Fuck
hey,
yeah.
She's going.
But like that's the thing, like people that don't even know were getting so into that
Yeah.
fight. That fight,
That was the craziest fight I've ever seen.
The whole arena on that fight was like stomping their feet. And
That's
going
when you went
crazy
off,
for it.
wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
I went
Yeah,
off
yeah.
right before it. So what happened was there was a group of guys that were sitting in like the VIP section,
Yeah.
and I don't know, they took someone's seat. So I went over to them. I'm like, guys, you can't sit here. You guys got to move. Because the security guards were saying like, oh, everyone's getting too rowdy. There's too many people. They were too scared to say anything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'll go up to them and say something. I get into like a little bit of a heated argument with these guys. They ended up moving.
Yeah.
And I went and sat back down to my seat. When I went back down and sat in my seat, I see on the other side of the cage, there's a group of like 30 guys, and they're right behind the other team's corner. So I walked up to them and I'm like, oh, guys, you guys got to move as well. And one of the guys tried to ignore me. Right? And I flipped it. I was like, bro, who the fuck are you ignoring?
Yeah.
If you're not going to move, get the fuck
Yeah,
out.
exactly.
At the end of the day, like, we've got a show to run. We've got things to go smoothly. I don't want to be a dick to anyone. I don't want to be rude to
100%.
anyone at the end of the day. But if the cops come and they're stopping my show because people are getting too rowdy, too close to the cage,
You wouldn't want that.
I
No,
would
fuck
not want that. You
Fuck
know what
that.
I mean? So
After all the planning and everything that goes into it.
I may have like lost my shit a few times at the last
Yeah,
show
but
with a
it's
few people,
understandable as well. That's how you got to be.
Yeah, sometimes. Oh,
There's a lot of things that can go wrong.
that's the issue. That's the issue with being the person in charge. Sometimes you have to be the one to say something because security weren't going to say something.
No.
Like, and
It's your event. Like they're there to just obviously they're getting paid, but like at the same time,
they don't give
you
a
care
fuck
the most
about it.
about your
Yeah.
event. Yeah.
It's like someone like if someone comes to rob McDonald's, are you gonna get
Yeah,
shot
you're
because you're
fucking-
trying
yeah,
to
take
take
some
the
Big
till?
Macs, bro.
Take whatever you want out of the
Come
till. I don't blame the security guards, but like I gotta get some better security guards for the next show.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know. It's,
No. Marconi Club. For our next show, we got fucking top security.
Wait, you know what I don't get? But like security guards at like boxing events, like for example, remember when Mike Tyson got the shits? What the fuck are the security
What
guards
are they gonna do?
What
What are they gonna do?
Lion Mike, bro.
If the
What can you
fighters
do?
get out of control, that's when it's an issue.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah.
Like if the security guards got into a punch on at the event, they'd be in trouble. Because like realistically, let's say 50% of the people are there to watch the fights have never
Yeah.
trained in their life. The other 50% they're probably from the gyms. They're probably
Yeah,
trained
yeah,
regularly.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, they got some
don't
background.
get smart to those people.
No,
either.
exactly.
You don't want
But
to.
that's why they buckle because they don't know who they're speaking to. Because the biggest nerd in the room could be the one that's going to be
Exactly right.
100%.
Fucking who is he? Michael? No, what's his name? Gaethje.
Oh,
Yes,
Gaethje
you
doesn't
know,
look
yeah.
like
when
a
he's
fucking
when he's
nerd.
got
He's
glasses,
got the glasses
on,
on.
yeah, he's cross-eyed.
He looks
he's
like a
got
nerd.
glasses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's
Like, you
fucking-
wouldn't
he'll
think
fuck
that.
it- He'll fuck
He's
me up. You know what I mean? Like he's
But yeah, this next show we got right now. We got 18 fights on the night.
wow, that's a lot of
It's a
fights.
lot of
Yeah.
fucking fights. I didn't want that many originally. I wanted 12, but so many people wanted to get onto the card.
Yeah.
and like,
Do you give anyone a chance? Or like, as in,
No.
how do you pick your fighters?
all right, so now I've learnt to kind of deal with the main gyms. Like, I don't
Okay.
deal with guys that don't come from a gym that I can speak to a coach because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, people that don't have like a structure, they don't have coaches, they don't have a team, they're very unpredictable. So they can pull out at any minute.
Yeah.
If I've got a fighter from my gym and I feel like he's gonna pull out because he's being a bitch or something like that, I'll
Yeah.
put it on him straight away and
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'll make sure
Has that happened?
all the time, all the time.
Or they just pull
100%,
out?
Yeah.
Do you,
From
but
my
you
gym?
don't- Yeah, from your gym.
If you do that from my gym, if you pull out for no excuse, no real reason, you're never fighting again.
Yeah, it's
And I
very
have-
looked down upon.
And
I've
I have
seen,
banned people from my gym
because of that.
for that. They get put on something called the no fight list. The
Wow.
no fight, yeah, you don't want to get put on the no fight list. The no fight list is literally you are not fighting
Yeah.
because you've done something stupid. And like realistically, guys will train for fights. They'll be getting prepared, and I won't like maybe the preparation that they've done. Some coaches will pull them out because they don't want to take the L. They don't want to lose their student. They don't want the student to get turned off the sport.
Yeah.
I don't look at it like that. I say when you sign up to an agreement, if you want to be a part of my gym and you said that
can't
you want to
back out.
fight, you can't back out. Like that's it.
Take your L.
I take your L. It's like in the middle. It will
have
happen
more
one day. It
dignity,
will
at least,
happen one day in
yeah.
a fight, and it's happened before. Not from our gym, but like fighters will sit there and they'll doubt themselves and want to quit mid-fight.
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 I think I've seen that in a boxing
Oh
fight.
yeah,
though.
yeah, I've seen.
It's
that,
happened, and
Yeah.
it's happened in boxing, and it should never get to the point where a fighter wants to back down. And like, I know sometimes like your coaches need to do it. Like if there was a situation where my guy was getting beaten up and they were not going to win that fight, I'll throw the towel in. Like I know how to protect my fighter, but sometimes when you're the fighter yourself, you doubt yourself. You
Yeah.
play with your own mind. You kind of beat yourself sometimes. And like my job as a coach is to push you over the line. My job as a coach is to make sure you don't quit on yourself. You know what I mean? If I pull you out of the fight, yeah, fair enough. But my job has got to be to make sure that you complete your task. You complete your mission. You push yourself to a limit that you never thought you could push yourself to. That's my job as a coach. And if I can't do that, or if I can't draw that out of you, I don't want to coach you. You know what I mean? If you want to give me that 100% and but just believe in me, believing in you, I don't want that. So I
it's
keep people out of my gym.
So, yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. So, as a coach, you're not just a coach if you think about it. You're also a psychologist. You're this and that because you're dealing with people's emotions.
Yeah.
If someone comes up to you and
Therapist.
tells you, "I don't feel comfortable," you have to comfort them. You have
Yeah.
to say, "No, you've trained. You've done your part. So you
Sometimes I got to lie to them to get them over the line.
yeah.
You know, like, but
Well, you have to sometimes as a
You
coach.
have to. Like one of my
Yeah.
fighters came in yesterday, and he's like, "Oh, I'm really crook. You know, I've had the flu all weekend. I
Yeah.
don't feel too good. 1, 2, 3." And I can tell what they're saying to me when like they're saying, "I don't feel too well."
As in that.
They're trying to say, "Do you think I'll be all right this weekend?"
Yeah.
And you know, if I'm like,
I want that validation.
"Oh shit," yeah. If they see me panicking, they're gonna panic.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I can take it two ways. I can either tell them to stop being a bitch, or I could just like talk them through the situation and like kind of try and steer their mind away from it. There's a lot of different ways that I can approach it. That's the thing about being a psychologist. for
Yeah,
these
because that's
fighters
what
as
you
well.
got to be. Yeah.
Every fighter is different. We have certain fighters that are like complete head cases
Yeah.
that like they beat themselves up over every little thing that happens. Then there's some fighters that aren't even that good from my gym,
Yeah.
but because they don't give a fuck and
They're just
because they don't
confident.
care, they're just confident. They do well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the mind plays such a big part, and me as a coach, I'm there to guide that mind. You know?
But nerves are always there. And
Yeah,
like,
bro. I've seen
no matter
Mike-
how good you are, like
I've seen Mike Tyson, like Teddy Atlas, who's telling, "I don't want to fight. I don't want
Yeah.
to fight." And Teddy
If
Atlas,
you're
is
not
telling him, "Just
nervous, I said this to someone today. If you're not nervous, you're either insane or you don't give a fuck.
go." Yeah.
Like, and when I say you don't give a fuck, you don't care about the sport. You don't care about losing.
So
you don't-
nerves is good.
nerves is good. You have to have nerves.
You have to have
Alright,
nerves.
Have you ever ran away from the cops?
No.
Honestly, you've never done a runner?
For legal
Never
purposes,
done
Yeah,
it.
you've
no,
never
legal
thought,
purposes,
you've never
never.
thought like cops are coming. Let's
Nah.
just say you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just say you did.
Yeah.
You'd be pretty nervous because you think the cops are on your tail, right?
Yeah.
Trust me, you'll run faster than you've ever ran before.
Really?
You'll
You'll
Usain
discover new
Bolt- yeah,
speeds.
you'll discover new speeds
Bolt
and you'll
and shit.
become.
Wait.
Usain
Have
Bolt.
you ever ran from the cops? Could you say it for legal purposes or?
Listen, they can't.
feel like you got a
actually-
good story.
They can't find out what it was for, but there's been many times.
Oh wow, yeah. But like the
Me and
adrenaline,
Hitman about to run from the cops as well.
yeah. No,
But yeah, like in that moment, it's fight or flight. You know what I mean? You can either go into it head first, or you can back out from the situation. But when you're nervous and you are in that fight or flight mode, and you think that like cops are coming after you, or it's something that scares you, you're usually on the balls of your feet. You're on your tippy toes. You know, you're quick. You're agile. Like you hear something at the door, you straight away turn around. And
Yeah.
those are the kind of the reactions you want in your fight. Being scared,
as in like
quick
are you-
reactions.
Are you talking? Yeah, it's more
You're
like
always
movement
alert.
and stuff. Okay,
You have
yeah,
to be
yeah,
alert.
yeah. Not
You
running
know-
away.
You're not running away.
like, being alert. Yeah.
Same thing, you know, when you're trying to be really quiet and you're like, I hope this person doesn't come around the corner and see me.
Yeah,
Right? But if they do, I better fucking run quick. Like,
Yeah.
as in, I need to be alert. If I stay
you're
there,
very cautious.
yeah, I'm going to get caught. Same thing about fighting, being nervous. One of the most like nervous fighters you'll see, he's so confident. You'll never realize he's so confident, but he's so nervous at the same time. It's hard to like kind of describe because he knows his ability.
Yeah.
He knows what he wants to do. He just doesn't want to go in there and let himself and everyone else down. It's Hater.
Hater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes in there and he fights like a madman sometimes.
I saw
You know,
him, bro.
like,
He looked
when-
like he was
yeah,
the king of the world when he walked
that's
out.
right. But
Yeah,
you know, the nerves that hit in, like I've seen it with the fighters before. Like I can see the nerves inside of them. I know how he usually is.
Yeah.
And I always say when Hater is scared, when he is nervous, that's when he fights his best.
really.
Yeah.
So
when-
before that last fight that he had, was he very nervous before that fight? Because
yeah.
that was a
Yeah.
crazy fight, bro. That was-
He wasn't so nervous for the fight before,
yeah,
but this fight that he had,
he was a
last-
good opponent as
He's a
well.
real good
His
opponent.
opponent was
Yeah, he
good.
gave him a good fight.
His
Yeah.
opponent was an international from Italy.
Yeah.
He was the Cage Warriors champion. Cage Warriors is like one of the biggest shows in the world.
Oh,
And
wow.
he was. They have like an amateur series that they have as well, and he won the amateur Cage Warriors belt. So he's a European champion.
Oh wow!
You know, so he
it's-
came.
fuck.
Yeah, he came
Yeah.
over here and. Hater just showed him Australia's better than Europe.
Yeah, legit. So
Yeah,
what
that
made
was
you
a fight.
pick him against Hater? Like, wait, sorry, do you pick the fights?
Yeah, I picked the fights.
Yeah.
With people like Hater, there's certain fighters at my gym at certain weights that it's find me the hardest opponent.
They want the hardest opponent.
I want the hardest.
You want the hardest opponent. Yeah.
They
But
want
that's
the
how you're
hardest,
gonna learn.
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
want the hardest opponent too. So that's why I say like 70, 66, 62, 57. I've got guys like it's gotten to the point with King Kong.
Yeah.
Whoever wants to step in front of him and have a go, I'll put them with him.
Yeah.
Fahud,
Yeah.
Hader, Matty Ian, these guys, mainly these 4 guys. I got other amateurs as well for my gym, but these 4 guys, when I try and match them up, I message the coaches and I'm like, give me your best guy. Give me like your absolute best guy in this weight class, this weight class, this weight class, because I feel like they are the best in their weight class in the country, and we're here to prove it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm real proud of my students, and I'm real confident in my students.
Yeah.
And it might be an ego thing as well. That,
No, man,
I want
just
them.
confidence.
I want them to I want everyone to bring their best guys. I put up a post recently about one of our fighters, Matty Ian, because he had so many pullouts at his weight division, and he's
them pulling out.
yeah, they're pulling out.
That'd be annoying, eh?
Yeah, so he's not fighting this weekend, and like I said to him already, I go, see, you've had so many pullouts, just call yourself the best in the country. You might as well.
Yeah, may as well.
No one wants to fight you.
Yeah.
No one wants to fight you. You're the best in the country.
Yeah.
You know, and I love that I've got that confidence in my students, and I know my students are like happy that I've got that confidence in them too. So they always just tell me, you tell us who to fight, when to fight, and we'll do it.
Yeah.
I'm in the same. He doesn't even ask me who he's fighting.
Yeah, he was telling us on the podcast.
yeah.
He said, if you or your brother Ashkan tell him jump, he'll say how high.
Yeah,
like he'll just jump.
literally.
Whatever, you know.
Whatever,
like he's ready.
whatever my coaches say, that's it.
He's ready for it.
And those are the guys that end up getting furthest in life.
Yeah.
Like, no, I won't say in life, in fighting.
Yeah.
Because they're willing to listen to everything that we say. So why wouldn't we give them everything that we have?
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, Hader will, when he's got a fight camp going on, he's the first in the gym, last to leave. Armin is the same thing. Fowler the same thing. Those guys that are willing to do the extra miles are always going to see the benefits. And like now they're starting to. Like Hader was a kid that he had his foot, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, always with fighting. He was a real good fighter, a real talented fighter, but never had the dedication.
What was the distractions, or was it like that didn't keep him?
Just think being a kid from the area.
Yeah.
Growing up in
It's
Auburn.
hard, it's hard.
Yeah, growing up, being around all the kids in the area. Your mates will turn around to you and say, what do you need to fight for? What do you need to train for? Come make money. You know, like, there's so much
other ways
bullshit. Yeah, there's so much bullshit out there in the world that, like, and they're easier options. Fighting is not the easiest option to take.
No,
because
it's probably the hardest.
Fighting is an option that you take. Fighters are broke. Until you've made it, you're broke.
Do they have jobs, right?
Yeah, Hader works full time. He works from
Yeah.
4 a.m. to 5 p.m,
Oh,
and then
wow.
he comes to training, and then he'll do 4 hours at the gym.
That's
You know
dedication.
what I mean? That's a
man.
different level of dedication. But that's something that we never seen from Hader until like a few things went wrong in his life, and like he
Like
ended
a
up,
wake up call.
well, yeah, he got himself locked up.
Oh, yeah. That
He
is a
got-
wake up call.
Yeah, he was just hanging out with idiots and doing stupid shit. And like I love Hader. Like I've known him since he was 16, 17. I was at his very first fight when it wasn't at our gym.
Yeah, right.
And he's someone who he went in, he got his wake up call, he came out, and he's legit turned his life around so good. Like I'm so proud of like not just the fighter that he is, the man that he is now. Like I said, it takes a different level of dedication to be able to wake yourself up at that time, go and work full time,
Yeah.
provide,
train.
help your family.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then go and train and worry about yourself. And then at the end of the night, turn around, like, I'll say something to him, and he's like, oh, sorry, bro, I got to go quickly. I got to wake up in the morning. I got to work again. I'm going to do it again the next day. But that last fight that he had, he was working full-time until the time of the fight,
actual
until 2-3
fight.
days before the fight.
Wow, man.
You know what I mean?
That's dedication, and that's like he showed that, like, you know, you can still do it. A lot of people make excuses like, oh, I can't do it. You're saying broke. A lot of the fighters are broke, but like that's because they love that, they have the passion for the sport. And you know, a lot of the stuff, like even like if you relate it to us, we do these podcasts. A lot of the stuff, like it's not like we're getting crazy money. You know? It's just something we
This is
enjoy.
it's a passion.
It's a
thing.
passion of mine, you know, and I just enjoy it so much. And I feel like a lot of stuff in life, you know, people expect things too quick.
That's
You
right.
can't expect things too quick.
That's right. And Hader's someone who said, I'm in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
He doesn't have all the privileges some other people have. He doesn't have rich parents. He doesn't have like anything like that. And that's why, like, he knows when he goes in there, everything is on him, and everything he gets out of it, it's purely for him as well. You know,
Yeah.
like he's someone that could make it to the UFC, and I think could make it to the, like, I made it to the UFC.
Yeah.
And I don't find it that hard. Like, as in making it. It's easy to get to the UFC. It's hard to stay in the UFC.
It's hard to say that.
Yeah.
Because
I-
the competition is elite.
It's
The
a
top.
different level, you know what I mean? And like mentally, if you're not prepared for it, and like sacrifices that you've put in, sometimes they end up showing in the fight. I believe that Hayder's the type of person that when he does get there, he's gonna go well beyond what I ever did. Like, I feel like he's gonna be far more successful than I ever was, my brother ever was. And we have a few students at our gym that have that potential because they're young enough right now and they're hungry.
How's the sorry, cut you off, but how's the like how do you get there? Like it just sounds like it's so hard because like you know, obviously you done it, your brother done it and stuff, but like you look at the fighters in your gym, right?
Yeah.
Obviously they're fighting with you now in UFN. How does someone go from the UFN to the UFC?
So, they nag.
They nag.
They nag.
Yeah.
So when my brother was coming up, I was his manager.
Yeah.
And I used to just email the UFC every day.
Right.
I got their emails.
Wow.
I got the matchmaker's email.
Yeah.
And I started emailing.
What would you send them? Like videos of yourself?
I would send him videos of my brother. I'd
Yep.
send him articles of my brother. I'd send
Yep.
him social media posts, the numbers that we were getting on social
wow.
media,
Wow.
things
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. So when I went there, I wasn't like, we really want to fight in the UFC. I sent like a full analytic of how many numbers and how many people watch him as well.
Oh,
how many
wow.
people. So like I presented them kind of with the case.
Yeah.
And then
You just wanted to work with them.
yeah,
just
yeah.
like, I
wanted to
watched
work
one of
with
these
them. Yeah, I
parts of
just wanted to
UFC.
work with them, and
Yeah.
then so I emailed literally like every couple of days for maybe a year and a half, 2 years straight.
Oh yeah.
and
Persistence,
then
man.
and then a lot of times I didn't get emails back, and then I remember one day I got an email back. Yeah, I remember I sent this long email to one of the matchmakers, and I had his record, I had his the people that he was fighting against, I had footage, I had his social media following and everything like that, and I was showing them numbers, and I got an email back from them maybe like 3 weeks later
Yeah.
for that one email, and all they wrote in the email was "Got it, thanks."
That was it.
That's it.
Literally,
Three
not
le-
even
three
like
words,
warmest
three words.
regards, not even a letterhead, nothing.
Got it. Thanks.
From the "Got it, thanks," and I was like,
What were you thinking then? Is
"The fuck? What a rude cunt."
That is a rude cunt.
But then I thought to myself, and I go, "Wait a minute." He replied.
It's the UFC. They replied.
they
Yeah,
He
yeah,
replied.
yeah,
This email works.
yeah, yeah. So you didn't know the whole time that the email works or not. You just
Well, like I never got a reply. How was I meant
Yeah.
to know?
Yeah, true,
You know,
true.
I
they'll
got
be getting heaps of emails though.
yeah,
Heaps.
and that's exactly right.
Yeah.
They would get thousands of dickheads like me that are messaging him every day. You know
Nah,
what I
man,
mean?
you just
What
ambitious.
ambitious.
So I
Just
just,
ambitious.
I just kept emailing them, and then he goes, "Got it, thanks." And then I emailed again, and I got like a little bit of a bigger response, and then they started asking questions. When they
Yeah.
started asking questions, I'm like, all right, I think we're
We're
onto
onto
something
something,
now.
yeah.
And they had the first person we got into the UFC was my brother, and they had asked us if he was willing to change weight classes.
What was he at the time?
He was fighting at 62 kilos at the time, which is bantamweight,
Okay.
and they were trying to fill up the flyweight division.
Yeah.
And that my brother was never thought about making flyweight because when it came down to even making 66, people thought it was going to be impossible because he was a big guy.
Yeah.
We went to a doctor and they said to him that it was physically impossible for him to ever make the weight class.
What was he at the time?
Walking around?
Yeah.
He would have been in the mid 70s at the time, maybe
Okay.
high 70s
Yeah.
to cut to 57 kilos. So you're cutting 20 kilos.
That's
From
a lot
the
of weight.
Stupendous.
So there they said to him, it's physically impossible. You'd probably die trying to make the weight. And then my brother said to himself, well, this is the one opportunity I have to make it to the UFC. They said, if you can make the weight class, we'll put you into the
Get in the UFC or die
He
trying.
literally nearly killed himself trying.
Die trying, yeah, literally.
But he got there. And like, we took the weight cut too far. It
How did he cut that weight? By the way, like 20
he
kilos.
dieted for 16 weeks straight.
But like he would have had like fuck all calories. Like
It was nothing. Like he drained himself. He couldn't even train. Like that was a.
He was that drained,
It
like-
was just. It was stupid, but it was a big like lesson that we had to learn. As
yeah,
well.
yeah.
He pushed it. He got to the weight class, and after he got to the weight class, we realized he couldn't perform at that weight, but they wouldn't change his weight class, and it was like, all right, you're in the UFC now. It is what
Up
it
and
is.
up the weight
But
cut, so
at
imagine-
the same time, you know, that was our first foot in.
Yeah.
My brother getting in, got other people in. Then I got myself in, and then I got Hitman in, and
Do you mind me asking what happened with Hitman? Because I hear a lot of stories, yeah?
yeah,
And like, I want to
yeah,
I want to
yeah.
know from you.
yeah,
Like, obviously, Hitman made the UFC.
yeah. And he got cut.
And then, okay.
Yes. All right. So for everyone who hasn't heard it, because
Because I've
Hitman
heard bits and
Hitman
pieces.
hasn't even like really spoken about it.
Yeah.
All right. So Hitman had a fight. Hitman had a fight like maybe mid-year at some point, like maybe it would have been July or August or something.
Yeah.
He had a fight, and during the fight, he had torn his MCL.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he wasn't in the UFC.
This was before the UFC.
Yeah, before the UFC.
Yeah.
So he torn his MCL. He went to a doctor, and the doctor had said to him, "Oh, well, you've torn this," and he goes, "I don't want to have surgery. Right? What can I do?" A doctor said to him, "Listen, you can take these supplements, and they should be fine." Yeah. So
to
he
help
went
heal the
to help heal his knee.
MCL. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the supplements were a steroid.
Oh.
Yeah? But everything is a steroid.
Yeah.
Everything that's
prescribed.
everything that's on a banned list is a steroid.
Mm.
So, but it was prescribed to him by a doctor.
Yeah.
All right, so we got to get
Yeah.
that right.
Nah, for sure.
He'd went to a doctor, and a doctor had asked him about knew his profession, knew everything, and said, "You're not fighting anytime soon. You're gonna take this." Now, the steroid. Have you seen Alex's body? Does he
yeah.
look like a steroid user? Honestly, he does not look like.
No.
His arms
It's not
look
like a
his
Nate
thin-
Diaz build, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
he's got a leg.
Yeah.
He's got a
Oh,
Nate
we
Diaz
saw
leg
about the
build.
last event. Yeah.
He doesn't look like he's on steroids.
No.
The supplements that he took were a recovery agent, yeah, to heal his knee. Now he took that for maybe about a month and a half, then got
Yeah.
off it. His knee was getting better. 3 months later, he fights in the UFC.
Fuck.
When he fights in the UFC, they asked him, "Have you taken this or that or this or that? Or like, have you taken any supplements? Because you got to sign up with USADA." When he signs up with USADA, he turns around and he goes, "No, I haven't." Because he's thinking to himself, "Well, I haven't taken anything in the last like 3 months."
So it had
You
been
know,
like
It'd been ages ago.
5 months or something.
Yeah, probably been like 4 months.
4 months.
4
Okay.
months. No,
Yeah.
a bit 4.5 months. Not even 5 months.
Yeah.
But he was taking that. He got off it. Everything was fine. Goes in, has a fight with the UFC, and then afterwards he gets popped for steroids. When he gets popped for steroids, and they seen the supplements that he was taking, and they spoke about it, Hitman straight away came. He presented them all with all the medical documents.
Of the prescribed.
To show that
yes,
was
what was
yeah,
prescribed.
prescribed.
Yeah.
He showed all the evidence of why he had taken it, which doctor he had taken it from, everything. So he was upfront with it. He didn't try and lie about it by that point. And they cut him, and they said,
still cut him after.
Well, the thing was they had to cut him because USADA had to give him a ban. Now USADA were meant to give him a 4-year ban. Yeah, for taking supplements. They didn't give him a 4-year ban. They gave him a 16-month ban. The reason they gave him a 16-month ban was because he wasn't completely at fault. Even in their words, even in the UFC's words, he wasn't completely at fault.
Yeah.
He was someone who went by the recommendation of a doctor, but the doctor didn't do anything illegal either. You know, like the doctor didn't do anything wrong.
He didn't know. Did the doctor know?
But yeah,
He didn't know.
It was supplements that were just off the USADA
Okay.
thing.
Like
And
regulations.
obviously, traces of things came back. They then said to Hitman, like, you know, you're gonna get suspended. They didn't cut him straight away. They said to him, "You're suspended for the time being. We want you to go through like a program for us." So the UFC asked him, "Can you do testing for us?"
What, like
They wanted
with
to use
USADA?
Yeah, like as a lab rat, pretty much.
Oh, well, okay.
Because they didn't know about the they didn't actually know everything about the supplements that he had taken. It
Yeah.
was like kind of new.
Yeah.
And they wanted to do more research on it, but no fighter had ever agreed to help them with the research. Hitman turned around and goes, "All right, no worries."
I'll help
So
you.
to show them like
The
I
effect
didn't
that it has.
like he wanted to show them like I didn't mean to do this. I'll do anything to like kind of make it right. So he let them test him for the next 2 years straight. Yeah.
Wow.
Next 2 years straight, they tested him. They gave him random tests, weekly tests, monthly tests. Why? Because they wanted to see the testosterone levels and the levels of the steroid that were going up
See
and
the
down in his
effect it
body.
has,
Yeah. So he'd helped them, done the whole process with them, never took
2
anything.
years?
For 2 years. To show them, like, look, I'm not the type of person to take supplements. I want to fight. I want to get back into UFC. At the end of the 2 years, they turn around and they go, "Thank you for all your help. But, you know, we're going to cut you anyway." So they used
fucked.
him. They used him for their
They
research.
drenched him, and then they're like, "All right,
And
see you
yeah,
later."
and even he said it. He was like, "Bro, what the fuck? Like, I haven't been fighting for 2 years. Like, I took, like, I had to kick back and not do anything
For 2 years.
I stayed on the. He had to write his whereabouts for 2 years. So when you're with USADA, with
Was
the
he still
UFC,
here?
Yeah,
So he was doing this from here.
yeah.
Okay.
So when
they
you're with the
probably
UFC, you have to put your whereabouts. like 24 hours of the day, because they can come at any time. 6 in the morning, they can test
I've
you.
heard,
Yeah.
random like
It's
random
like there's a
tests.
tracker
fuck?
on your phone.
Yeah,
Fuck,
they
yeah,
can
I
even
didn't
wake you
know
up.
that.
Fucking,
Yeah, so even when he's not fighting, he agreed to pretty much have a tracker on his phone and have these people coming and like
Random
testing him.
times.
Yeah, testing him. He did everything that he could to in his power to like show them that it was a genuine mistake.
Yeah.
Like if he knew that he didn't know he was going to get into the UFC, he had no idea.
Yeah.
If he knew something like that, or why would you take steroids?
No, you
Like,
just
why-
ruin your whole career
That's right.
pretty much.
But you know, we all make mistakes. That was another
100%.
lesson that we learned. He got cut from the UFC. After he got cut from the UFC loved, like, they still love him, but they just had to cut him. And they said, go have a fight outside of the UFC and we'll sign you back. So now he's on the comeback. He was meant to fight.
When's
on
he?
the-
Yeah.
He was meant to fight on the 7th.
No way.
Yeah, but it didn't happen. He injured his back.
Oh.
Yeah, but nothing major. So
Yeah.
we'll be back on the next 7th.
Yeah, I'd love to see him back in the
Yeah,
octagon,
yeah.
man.
I'll tell you something. Hitman's an entertainer. Hitman's someone that
He looks like a character. I've
He
seen
is.
some of his lives. I've seen. Yeah, he looks
he's
like a character.
and
yeah.
he's someone that like you enjoy watching in the UFC as well. You know, he was a young kid, and you know what? I'll take responsibility for some of the mistakes that he's made as well, because at the end of the day, like as a team, we decided on things that are meant to happen in Alex's career. You know, so
How old is he?
Alex now is 20. He's 26.
Oh, he's still young.
Still got plenty
yeah,
of time.
yeah, he's still got
Yeah,
plenty of time. Yeah.
You know, my brother didn't even have his first fight till he was 28.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. So it's never too
Alex
late.
is well
It's
ahead.
never
And
too late.
Alex is one of those guys. He can compete at UFC level. His first fight he made in the UFC, he cut 14 kilos in 8 days to make it there. 14 kilos in
How is
8
that possible?
days.
14 kilos in 8
crazy.
days.
He starved himself and sat in a sauna and sweated all that water out.
That can't be healthy, bro.
It's not. But
That's
like,
dangerous.
We've got videos of him nearly dying as well.
Yeah.
Hey,
Fucking hell.
Wouldn't
trust
be
me, it
surprised.
happens often.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
we again, UFC calls on 8 days notice. You don't say no. If you're
Yeah.
a fighter, you turn around and go, I don't care about the weight. I'll chop my leg off if I have to fight.
To
and
fight
that
in
just
the
shows
UFC.
the type of person that he is as well. You know, he stepped up on short notice and he took on a guy that was a Russian champ. He's
Yeah.
still undefeated in the UFC. He's in
Yeah.
the top 15 right now, and like,
The Russians, bro, they're
yeah, but all he wanted to
They're
do was
crazy.
take Hitman down and hump him. He didn't want to stand with him.
literally,
Pretty much nothing,
Like,
man.
They're good
But-
wrestlers, but man,
You know, I've learned a lot over these years, like especially the last like 3 years since myself being in the UFC and getting out of the UFC and seeing how everything works, dealing with all this shit that's going on with Hitman and dealing with a lot of things that go on.
You learn a
in the
lot.
place. You
Yeah.
learn a lot. You
Yeah.
know, I realize now I'm still so young in the game.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm just tipping my toes in right now, and I'm lucky because a lot of coaches have never had a fighter in the UFC. I've been lucky enough to not only get myself there, but I've had 5 other fighters, not just from
Yeah.
my own gym. I've managed other fighters, Spencer Soley,
Yeah.
as well. I've managed other fighters. I've gotten them into the UFC, and I kind of know the system, and I'm proud of everything that I've achieved. I've learned so much from everything, but I've got like another level to kick off now. Like,
Yeah, bro,
now I'm
100%.
motivated more than ever.
Yeah.
Take my shows to another level, get more fighters into the UFC, and like, I'm a lot smarter than I was before. I'm a lot older and wiser. than
Nah,
I was
100%.
before as
And I can
even
see-
with my own, even
yeah.
with my own career.
Mm.
You know, I made a lot of mistakes and I made a lot of stupid choices, leading up into my UFC career, and like, we all have to live with them as well. You know what I
100%.
mean?
But they're all learning.
They're things
Yeah.
that shape us and make us who we are. Now, like, I'm not looking back anymore. I'm not bitter about what happened with me in the UFC. I'm not bitter about anything that's happened, because like, I'm so lucky. I'm blessed to be able to have my shows, have my gyms, have my students, and have this whole career that I've had. And I just feel like I haven't even like hit even like an inch of what I'm capable of hitting, you know, in this whole thing. I always said, I want to come into MMA. I want to change combat sports. I wanted to change a lot of things that happen in Sydney. And I have, like, if anyone denies it and says that like I haven't shown a lot of these guys, a lot of these gyms a blueprint for how it's actually done.
Yeah.
Right.
no,
then-
you've been a big
it's a
part
different
of
level,
that.
bro.
And
Yeah.
that transition you've made from fighter to coach and promoter, and you know, it's amazing.
10 years ago, I knew nothing about the sport.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know what I mean? 10
Wow.
years ago, I was just starting out. I'd never been to a fight show even myself. I never grew up wanting to be a fighter.
It was completely off the
Yeah.
radar.
Yeah, I grew up getting into a lot of fights because I was smaller than a lot of people, and I'd have to get myself
Yeah, to
into
defend
fights.
yourself.
But at the same time, I never envisioned the life that I'd have now. And I just like I'm very, very excited to see what happens in the next 10 years. I've only
Right.
done this for 10 years now.
Honestly, bro,
Next
but
10
it
years are gonna be
takes time.
exciting.
Obviously, this whole process takes time, and as I said, bro, I see UFN being in the next 10 years, bro,
100%.
massive.
If it wasn't
Massive.
for COVID, I would have had 50 shows already right now.
Yeah,
You know,
COVID
that-
really fucked up.
COVID
everything,
fucked
eh?
us, you
Yeah.
know. And
Yeah.
COVID was a shitty time for me because I had COVID kind of hit like straight after my last UFC fight when I was in Korea.
Yeah,
So it was just a lot of nothing, and it was very hard for me to get back in there and fight myself.
yeah.
But it gave me proper time to sit back and like
And reevaluate everything, yeah.
everything and see where we're gonna go forward from here. I've got like a good crew of people around me, as I always have. Like, you know, I've got my brother, I've got you know, all my friends and family that help me around with the gyms and where I'm focusing. So I think that now I'm ready to take it to another level. And
Alright,
we're
and
gonna see the first bit of the next level at UFN.
UFN, yeah, bro. And I'm keen to be there and
Yeah,
fucking
I'm so
shoot some
keen.
fucking amazing
Yeah,
content,
bro.
bro.
We
I'm telling you.
we gotta make sure like we're at a new venue now, so it's
yeah.
I don't know.
Where's it at again?
It's at the Marconi Club.
Okay.
It's at the Dalton House in the Marconi Club. So
Oh, it's in the city.
no.
Wait.
So Marconi in Bosley Park.
Oh, sorry. Yep.
Yeah. That club, they have like a new wedding reception area.
Oh,
Yeah, and they emailed me and they were like they wanted us to hold the show
fucking
there.
beautiful. Is it big? Is it big?
It's bigger than the last place that
Oh,
we
yeah.
were at. Capacity wise, it doesn't look as big, but
Yeah.
capacity wise, like I can have double the
fit
amount of
more.
capacity that I had at the last
Beautiful.
place. It's obviously no Luna Park or anything that we've been to before. It's
Yeah.
hard for us to get into those venues at the moment because combat sports, especially MMA, it's kind of still frowned upon. They don't.
Yeah.
Want, they don't
Even,
want
like, it's
cages
fucking
in.
2022, bro. Like, get over it.
Some of the venues that we go to, they say to us specifically, okay, you can hold your show here, but do you mind using a ring and not a cage? And
Why?
I'm like, what? Why? And then they said because they don't like the image of a cage in their club. You know what I mean? I'm
Because
like,
cage fighting, also
there's-
UFC and
there's
UFN
still, I
stuff.
can't believe there's still some people.
Still
that
look
yeah,
like that was like-
boxing is apparently more like
Respected.
prestigious.
Yeah, like
respected.
No, it's
yeah.
literally more dangerous. There's been more deaths in boxing.
There has been more deaths. I get more brain damage boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe because I don't move my head. But I get more brain damage in boxing than I do MMA. You know, even though you wear smaller gloves in MMA, you don't get hit as much. With a boxing
Yeah.
glove, you just constantly
Constant,
get
just
smacked
And
in the
even
head.
in
Trauma.
the fight, it's not like the ref just pulls you off. That's it.
Nah.
fucking
yeah,
damage.
they'll be like,
You
all right,
get
let me
back
give
up.
you a count. Let me give you
Yeah.
10 seconds.
That's
Go
it.
again. Go again.
And your refs are
Crazy.
good. Notice your refs are pretty good.
You know why my refs are good? 'Cause
Yeah.
I keep them on a fucking tight leash.
Oh, yeah.
That's fun.
they-
That's important, bro. You
Like,
need to.
even the guy the King Kong fight, when King Kong knocked him out, I remember the ref jumped
Hey,
in
the
and missed his eye.
refs know when you've got an ATT fight, especially there, you better jump in like you're ready to save someone's life because
Yeah.
my boys don't stop.
They're just
Yeah,
boom,
that's it.
boom.
They go. But
Yeah.
yeah, this weekend, our 30th show, 18
Yeah.
fights. Ready to
Guys,
smash it out.
and you can still get tickets.
Yeah, guys, you can get tickets. If you go on our Instagram page, you got our link
Yeah.
on Ticket Evo that you can go.
Australian
I think-
top team on Instagram.
I think it's
It'll be down there.
ticketebo.com.au/Urban Fight Night 30.
Yeah.
Um,
And catch us there because we're going to be there as
yeah,
well.
the
gonna
boys
be
will be
there.
there. You'll see some
We're gonna run
TikTokers there as well.
Yeah.
You'll see some boys there. They'll have a laugh. Make sure you come say hello to the boys. Say hello to me as well. I'll be running the event.
He'll be a bit busy, but
Yeah, I'll be a bit busy. But honestly, like,
you could catch him. You could catch him.
yeah, I'm ready. I'm so excited for the show coming up. But I just want it to be over and done with.
Yeah.
I
it's a better feeling, eh?
I like when the show is there. After the fights are done, I go home and I watch the fights same night.
No way.
Yeah, and I
because
watch-
you're too preoccupied.
Yeah,
eh?
I'm here, I'm there. I don't know how the lighting went. I don't know how the interviews went. I don't like.
Ah.
It's all such a blur
Yeah.
that I have to come back and sit
Watch
and
the
watch the
show.
whole event again the same night. So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
Urban
probably
Fight
more
Night.
relieved straight
Hey,
after.
Urban Fight
Yeah.
Night's so good. You can't just watch it once. Got to watch it twice.
Exactly.
Gotta watch it twice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nah, and we'll be there, guys. Saturday night. Was this Saturday?
Yeah, this Saturday night. Doors open at 5. First fight will be at 6 o'clock. We've got 18 fights. If anyone wants to come to the weigh-ins, we've got the weigh-ins on at Friday at 3 o'clock at the Marconi Club. So
Yeah.
sometimes the weigh-ins can be just as exciting as the fights.
You never know. There could be
Yeah,
another fight.
there could be other fights, and the ring girls will be there as well. In case you
Mexico.
guys
I'll
wanna
be
come.
there. Yes,
Yeah.
I'll be there, bro. Why not?
But yeah,
Nah.
ready for the show, and hopefully you guys.
I'm keen,
like
bro.
it
I'm
again.
definitely keen. And yeah, bro, thanks so much for coming on. And
Thank you.
fucking let's have a cracker event on Saturday.
Hey,
That's it.
thank you, boys.
Elbow, brother.
All right, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow Suman, follow the Australian Top Team on. We'll plug your socials anyway.
Yep.
And yeah, take care, guys. See ya.